Nothing like the real thing. You paid $1,100.
My mom.
Foolish woman. You took her money, you basically a bully. She's saying that it's horsehair.
She what?
She's saying that it's horsehair.
I have no idea what they put in it, but I can tell you that 100% is never 100%.
Did you bring in the hair with you?
Agent Gordon with Justice Jackie.
It's like you're a real liar. In Louisiana, we say, show me something. You all are in Justice Jackie's court. Judgment for the plaintiff. Drugs. If I had my way, I'd put you in jail right now. Wait, hold up. And you will be casting this judgment for the people, by Justice Jackie.
Cameras up. Cajun court. Take one. Action.
It's art to me. It's not just for the beauty. It's like being able to create new looks.
$1,100, I'm sure. Sure create something.
Spying and lying.
Don't flatter yourself. This isn't anything to steal.
She had to know, and if she didn't, she's getting schooled now.
I'm sure she is. $1,100.
If you don't know,
I understand it's $1 billion industry.
$9 billion industry with
you know your
60 to
homework, so
70% in the weave.
Okay, so you're in the right business, selling weave hair.
Well, yes.
She's saying that it's horsehair.
I have no idea what they put in it, Judge. I hate to interrupt you, but when I went over to her
Go
head...
ahead.
Cajun court. Take one.
The plaintiff is suing the defendant for an unbelievable job that destroyed her hair. She says the defendant sold her a bad batch of Brazilian hair. The defendant says the plaintiff should have educated herself about the hair industry before purchasing the hair. Let's see if Justice Jackie can unweave this tangled situation.
Cajun court is now in session. There'll be no chewing. There'll be no talking. There'll be no cell phones. The Honorable Justice Jackie is presiding. All parties have been sworn in. Case number 266, the weave.
I guess one of you all is weaving quite a tale.
My, what a tangle where we weave when first we practice to deceive.
Right. Okay. Let's just get to the root of the problem. I've had the opportunity to read the report, and here we are. Let's try to get this done as soon as possible. I have some things I need to do, but I appreciate you all being here. Plaintiff, we'll get started with you, and if you can tell me what's going on, what do you want me to decide for you today?
I came into the defendant's salon to get a sew-in, a hair wash, and a deep conditioning, eyelashes, and my nails done.
Was there a certain purpose for going to this particular salon?
I'm thinking about joining the beauty industry, like becoming a beautician. So I go to different salons to see if it's an environment that I would want to be in, and just to like get a feel of how it is. She met me at the door.
She, are you talking about the defendant over
Yes,
here?
ma'am.
Okay.
She told me, she was recommending a milk treatment, coconut oil treatment for my hair, and I told her that that's not anything that I wanted. So she took me to her employee, and I told her that I just wanted my hair washed and the deep conditioning, and she was like, okay, that's fine, I can do that for you. So she took me.
So she was trying to make a sale?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
She took me over to her sink and told me that she was doing the wash and the deep conditioning, but whenever we got done, the perm bottle was sitting beside the sink, and I asked her if that's what she put in my hair, and then she told me that she did, that she permed my hair with the chemical.
Wait a minute. You went there for what purpose? I want to go back over this so I make sure I get it right.
Shampooing and conditioning.
Went there to spy.
If you don't mind, ma'am, let me just understand why she's here.
For the shampooing and the conditioning, a sew-in with Brazilian weave, eyelashes, and nails.
Okay. And so you're here because, did you get any of that?
Somewhat.
Okay.
I got the wash and a perm that fried my hair. I told her Brazilian, meaning 100% Brazilian, which was $300, $250, $300, $400, $400. It was $150 per bundle, and I had 3.
Okay, is that your hair?
No, no ma'am.
Is that a weave?
Yes, ma'am.
$150 for a bundle?
She told me that she was gonna do what I paid for, the Brazilian. Well, when she finished and I looked in the mirror, the top layer was Brazilian, but whenever I left, which I paid her up front, the total amount, $1,100, it was required.
I just want to make sure, 3 bundles, you said, of hair. You had to have the hair sewn in your head.
Yes.
You had to have it shampooed. And you got you some nails. And you got some eyelashes. I think I count 5 things?
Yes.
And you paid $1,100.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I see why you want to be in that industry.
Whenever I got to my house and actually looked through my hair, the bottom of my hair was not sewed in, and it wasn't Brazilian. It was clipped on horsehair.
Horsehair?
Yes.
Hi,
She
well,
showed
how
me
do you-
the bundles of Brazilian, put in what she calls comparable Brazilian, and clipped in horsehair.
I mean, how do you know that it wasn't Brazilian? And I'm just curious, why didn't you just ask for American hair?
Brazilian just, it's at the top right now.
Okay. Brazilian, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I know it wasn't Brazilian because Brazilian looks healthy and rich.
So
This-
American hair isn't.
What I have isn't.
Okay.
This does not look healthy or rich. It looks fried.
It was like that when you walked in.
$1,100. I'm still trying to digest that, okay?
Yes.
She's spying so she can do this at home.
So what are you wanting from the defendant here?
The $1,100.
She's getting schooled now.
I'm sure she is.
I paid her up front the $1,100. $350 of it was for the deep conditioning, which her employee didn't do.
And she suggested that.
No,
Okay.
she suggested to do a coconut oil treatment.
Gotcha,
But her
gotcha.
employee did a perm, which
Okay.
fried it. The perm was only $50. The deep conditioning was $350, which I paid for and didn't get my money back.
How old are you, ma'am?
22.
You're 22. And you want to be in the cosmetology business?
Yes, ma'am.
And so you have set out and you've gone to various salons to see how it works. You go to school, you're educated. I mean, you have to pay for the education, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you go again, once you pay for your education, you're trying to learn, then you go pay somebody?
Well, I'm an artist. I like to create, and I like
Okay.
to get a visualization of, like, ideas of what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, to see it hands-on and to see the looks created gives me ideas, and, like, it's like a
Okay.
chain reaction.
I don't
for
know
me.
if that's the best way to get ideas, but let's see. Now, how did you find the defendant here? Did you do any homework, like checking into her background to see her expertise, to see if she's got a license, to see her work, to see how she's qualified to do what
She
you
has a
for $1,100?
license. Her employee didn't have their license on the wall,
Okay.
but she said that she had it anyway.
But I need to know something. You've been to school. I would assume, based on what you're saying, you're unemployed. So what are you wanting from the defendant here?
Basically, the $1,100.
You didn't get a receipt?
I do. I have the messages online where I messaged her.
Well, I want to understand something here. You went and paid $1,100. Did your mama pay for it? Who paid the $1,100?
My mom.
That's what I thought. Foolish woman. She gave you $1,100 for some hair, and you don't have a
No,
job.
she didn't just hand it to me. I cleaned my mom's house for her, and
You must
like
have a big house.
she does. But I'm the housekeeper for her, and I babysit for her on the side, and I saved it up. She didn't just hand it to me to hand it to me.
You know, you look naturally pretty. You're beautiful. And so you want to be changed and have weave hair and all this false stuff.
Yes. It's art to me. It's not just for the beauty. It's like being able to create new looks.
$1,100, I'm sure. Okay, sure create something. Okay, defendant, I've heard enough from the plaintiff. Let's see what you have.
So have we all. Spying and lying.
Well,
I mean,
don't
Don't flatter yourself. This isn't anything to
who
steal.
goes and get $1,100 worth of stuff just to check
Well, she
somebody
paid
out?
you. Are you complaining?
She's spying so she can do this at home, so she can do it under the table. That's all that it's about.
Well, what's your defense?
Anyway, I'm Lenora Jones of the Executive Beauty Salon, and 100% Brazilian hair or 100% virgin hair, the best comes from India and China.
What?
And
Okay. I'm
she
just- I'm
comes in
just
here
curious.
expecting to get
Brazil, India,
she expecting to get the
India.
100%. 100% starts at $1,000 and
What?
goes up to $3,500. She had to know, and if she didn't, she's getting schooled now.
I'm sure she is. $1,100.
If you don't know the weave
what's
game, you need to get out.
Because your prices said Brazilian. Maybe you should elaborate that you have different levels of
There's
it.
different levels of the Brazilian
But
hair.
then why do you have Brazilian 150?
You can just run your fingers down it like that.
You want to try?
You know what? I'd like to try. Ma'am,
Just try to see if your fingers get stuck.
Well, ma'am, did you explain that to
And also, she said that the bottom of her hair wasn't weaved. This is a picture of her head after we braided it, after my operator braided
I
it.
see that, Officer Ross.
And that is the operator braiding in, sewing in that bottom part of her head.
And so you mean you have braids up under that hair right now?
Yes, ma'am. The top. There's clip-ons at the bottom.
There was no clip-on.
Did you explain to
She
the
came up
plaintiff
with that lie to try and get her money back because she's spying.
Well, did she sign something with you, ma'am?
No, we gave her the piece of paper, but
This,
during the time that she was having the treatment, she signed this.
Is that your agreement from your company?
But she, the whole harmless, she never did sign the whole harmless. But she signed the other one.
Why didn't she sign the whole harmless?
She was, at that time, she was under the dryer getting the conditioner.
Well, ma'am, I'd just like to know, and I understand it's a $1 billion industry. in hair.
$9 billion industry
Now,
with
well, you know
60
your
to
homework, so what you mean-
70% in the weave.
Okay, so you're in the right business, selling weave hair.
Well, yes.
Okay. Did you explain to the plaintiff what she was getting?
Actually,
No. Yes or no?
well, no, because, I mean, you gotta know
didn't
if
explain.
you're
She
only
didn't know what
paying
she was getting.
$150 for it
So she
per
don't
bundle.
understand that. Did she understand that?
I guess she didn't
100, but you charge her $150.
for each bundle.
And she says that even though she pays that, it was sewn in, and she's saying that it's horsehair.
She what?
She's saying that it's horsehair.
Well, I have no idea what they put in it, but I can tell you that 100% is never 100%.
Did you bring in the hair with you today? Did you
It's
bring in
always a certain percent. The government will allow you to say it's 100.
Is it fair to say that you took advantage of her?
No, Judge, I hate to interrupt you, but when I went over to
You
her
have, but
head,
go ahead.
I said to her and the operator, I said, don't do this today. I said, her hair needs some hydration. It's dehydrated. You can see in the top there. And I pulled her hair and I said, do the milk treatment, 2 or 3 of those before you do this
Would
for
that
her.
have
She's
been
in no
cheaper?
hurry. She didn't have anywhere to
Would
go.
that have been cheaper than $1,100?
No, it wouldn't have been cheaper.
Oh.
either
been a
way,
little
they
more.
still did a
It
perm.
would have been a little more.
They made it
But
worse.
my concern
Yeah,
was
let
for the
finish,
hair.
plaintiff.
My concern was for her hair. My operator is the person who does weave. My concern is for people's hair. I want it to be healthy.
How can it be healthy with weave?
Well, actually, the weave takes it gives your hair a break. Some people who have long hair put a little weave in. It gives your hair a break. Imagine if she had taken my advice, she might not have even gotten the weave after she saw how pretty her hair would have been.
Your Honor, my natural hair
after
wasn't
the milk
dry.
treatment.
I don't put chemicals on it. That's why I get shampoos and deep conditioners.
the employer is responsible for its employees.
That's
so,
true. That's true.
Ma'am, do you have any insurance on your salon?
Insurance?
Insurance. You know what
Yeah.
insurance? Yeah. You have it on your card. Most people have it on their business as well.
We have insurance.
Okay. So.
But now I don't think it covers this. It covers the building if it burns down.
You said you didn't have any evidence of that.
Your Honor, Brazilian hair, you can run your fingers through it without any struggle. You can't run your hands through this.
Yes, but that's the replacement hair.
No, the bottom is the replacement hair from where your employee put horsehair. This is what your employee put in my hair.
Well, it looks a little thicker. What do you
Yeah,
have to say
real
about that?
Brazilian hair, you can just run your fingers down it like that.
You want to try?
You know
wanna
what?
prove yourself?
I'd like to try. Let me.
And people are robbing stores
Maybe
for the
that's
money.
Brazilian
Going
hair.
to jail for that hair.
Right,
in,
let's see.
in droves.
Ma'am, let's see what you're talking about.
Careful, don't get lost.
Okay. Okay. And what do you mean?
Just try to see if your fingers get stuck. This was real Brazilian. You could effortlessly.
Well, I got to. Okay. 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 Do we have some American hair? Well, my hand goes through it. How much is that hair?
This is my hair.
Okay. Okay. It doesn't look like 400. So you didn't pay $400, did you? Okay. Okay. Some people do get scammed, but, and you know, the lack of knowledge, you know what they say, you can perish due to the lack of knowledge. What is it that you think that you can do to make this plaintiff whole?
At this point, she did get the sew-in. She did get the wash and conditioner.
Did she
got
ask
the
you for
mink
money back?
eyelashes. She got her nails done. So, as you can see from that picture, it was started at the base of her head to be
I'm
sewn
looking at the
in.
picture, you know, I'm wondering for that kind of money, the roll's not even straight. Is that
They're not
how it's
supposed to
done?
be.
I'm sorry?
They're not supposed to be.
Okay. For that kind of money, I would think it is. You're asking for $1,100.
Yes.
Okay. We'll take a brief recess, and I'll be back. My room. I want to get down to the root of the problem. What are you teaching? You took her money. You basically a bully. I don't even want to know the answer to that. Don't even tell me the answer. So, which means that I want to get down to the root of the problem. You have a young lady here. She's paid you $1,100, and had it been me or if it was my child, I would want her to research your background as opposed to going in on the blind side, not knowing anything about you, paying you $1,100. From my standpoint, I would say she was taken advantage of, and I'm not really cognizant of the hair business. You talk about Brazilian, you talk about India, and all these different hair companies. And so in this day and time, everything is so unnatural. What about the gift that God has given you, your hair, your eyes? I don't understand why. I know you talk about the arts, and I do have a daughter. I have a young daughter. And the young kids like the colored hair. They like the mink or the false eyelashes. They like the earring in their nose, and they even like the butt injection. You know, it's inconceivable to get your butt pumped up, you know. And most people were saying, okay, no, I don't want that. But now this is a new day and time. But not only that, Defendant here has educated you. She said that this industry is a $1 billion industry. And you are young enough to take $1,100. Just think if you invest. I'm sure, how often would you have to get this hair done? You had it in, which means you got to get somebody else to do it. So is that another $1,100? I don't even want to know the answer to that. Don't even tell me the answer. So which means that you've got to keep investing, reinvesting in the hair. Brazilian, India, whatever, Jamaica, whatever. You got to invest in the hair. So there's, you know, you keep pumping, you know, somebody else's economy. So why can't you do it for yourself? And I like to embrace my child, you know, is hey, embrace your own beauty, embrace your own hair, your own eyes. And what happens, I always wonder, now I must say this, what happens when your husband or your boyfriend rubs a finger through the hair? And, you know, they don't get the head. You know, they're not getting the real thing. You know what they say? Nothing like the real thing. And so you don't get the natural. You don't get the natural. But that's acceptable now. But it's not acceptable for you to spend your money unwisely. Now, you say, you know, you should be working. Creativity, the arts, $1,100 in the hair. Your mama should really be ashamed. You know, I make my daughter work, but she cannot spend money on you know, foolishly. And you saying you didn't get what you bargained for.
At all. Like I said, I was only into the hair and all of the makeup because I thought I wanted it for a career, but I would never want to be in an industry where you pridefully and
You
try
shouldn't
to
be in
justify,
it. You don't know anything.
Where you try to justify messing somebody over willingly. I wouldn't want to be in anything like
that's
that.
a thought, and I have to give you that.
She's uneducated about the hair business.
It appears that you're
She
older.
needs to go to school.
I'm uneducated about messing people over, so you admit that that's what you're
You
doing.
need to go to school and
know,
learn.
ma'am, you know, although you should respect your elders. I understand that you're upset. I'm talking, but she is an elder. She's elderly, so you respect that. But ma'am, you also should be teaching this young lady. Instead of taking her $1,100 for what you've done, and she's saying I'm looking at her. And $1,100, I mean, I don't know if you
These
put that
girls are
color in her
crazy
hair.
these days. They're insistent upon this.
Well,
I tried to talk her down from it, at least that day.
What are you teaching? You took her money. You basically a bully. You took her money, and you know that she's 22 years old. You can look at her and tell she's young. And $1,100 is a lot of money for that, judging for the plaintiff. And I believe, and not only that, may I add, ma'am, she's also asking for mental anguish. And I tell you, ma'am, when you get that extra $1,000, put it in the bank. Don't put it in your head. Thank you.
For more information, visit CajunCourtTV.com.